We just got done with Baka Pruitt, so we will go with Mariano Lake. Shanat, Mr. DeGrouchy, Nahadoljish.
Good morning. I kept telling people that in our radio station in Windarong, our St. Michael's been announcing that today's a holiday for tribal employees. No hanatse all weekend. I think that's why we don't have the full participants here. My name is J.R. DeGroat, and I'm chapter president at Mariano Lake. We have a delegation here, our coordinator, Leandra James, and our finance person, Lucinda Yazzie. And these are the students that are assigned to us from workforce development under the Navajo Nation. We're a work site for them, and they choose to be at Mariano Lake, the participants. And we have several of them. This is only a few of them. Then our job is to job place them after they get done with their work site training. It's a good program, and I used to be agency director for Navajo Nation Employment and Training way back. Then I transferred to CIT, Yolgende, Kareya, Navajo Technical University. So my occupation is in administration, mostly all my 30-odd years of working for Navajo Nation. At various capacity. It's a good thing I never left Crown Point. I always worked there in our agency office then. We don't even have an agency office anymore. It's all different places. And that makes it complicates a lot of things for us. We don't really know where to go to ask for any kind of developmental services. So that's one area that we would like to address as our Eastern Agency Council, is to reestablish our agency office in Crown Point. Then we got used to it for many years. And that's where our BIA superintendent office is also, who's the other partner in the Navajo Nation. That brings me to Mariano Lake chapter. We're a checkerboard area. And from Chichalka elaborated this land status. We're in the same situation. The federal government went through a land buyback, where Navajo Nation that had allotments sold their shares to federal government, which in turn gave it to Navajo Nation trust land. And that's where my request is. End up. If you can get the results of the buyback program, how much of that land is now trust land? And that complicates whenever you do developmental activities within the local communities, especially at Mariano Lake. If you can work with we're not privileged to those information at the chapter. It has to be a government to government, no. Yes, So if we can have someone, maybe from this department, since you do a lot of development on land development, you can done this through roads department. Number 2, safety at Mariano Lake. Because we have children attending several different schools away from the community. So most of the time they're on the road to get to school and to come back home in the evenings. And bus transportation. Right now we have several schools that are transporting students from our community. McKinley County Public School, out of BIA School, Fort Wingate, out of the public school, through both the grade school all the way to the high school. Out of Rehoboth, it's a Christian school. Then we have a St. Bonaventure from Theru, they bring their transportation into our community. And right now we don't have a place where the bus can load up the children and in the evenings when they come back. Or you don't the buses, they line up along the roads, the highway, in heavy traffic in the morning especially. When people have to go to work, they drive real fast to get to their jobs. So, and just last week, 2 weeks ago, we had an incident where one of the child almost got hit. So, if you can help us somehow develop a turnaround for our transportation, student transportation, safety, you have signs here that says so. Then the other thing that we really need help in is our community service schedule. Several years ago, NDOT came and told us to develop a schedule for our road maintenance throughout our community. For some reason, we never got on your maintenance schedule. But we still got services. I'm not complaining about that. But that needs to be reviewed again with us because trust land not a allotment, not a housing shares. We can do another schedule that's more meaningful to you people that does the maintenance. The other thing is, when you're a chapter official, in my capacity, you're not only concerned with the human lives, you also have to think about the animals, domestic animals, sheep, cows, horses, whatnot. Grazing permit, no. The nation hasn't really decided how to declare that. Before the buyback. But now it's complicated, some issues. Although it's very limiting, the grazing permits, because of the land status, I guess. But that needs to be reviewed, not with you, but as part of the issue regarding the roads. then this is not really an issue with the nation, but nevertheless, it's Navajo land. Then Yogaki are wildlife animals, especially the elks and the deer. They migrate through our land and through this road that goes through. Hidel Catholia, late lawyers than nation the artist. In a Kaolian, he was so short that when a customer came in, he went up on the platform to go above the counter. She hung that was lawyers. But anyway, kidding aside. And they're still using their animal trails that they migrate through. They migrate from up here, so it's all the way through up to Zuni Mountain. Through, it's just right in front of their chapter house, in fact. They come, and there's no way for them to cross over, so they have to jump the fence. They got turned around. I come to see them do that many times. It's a cycle that they have. So, in these major roads, they provide egress for these animals. A team, but they built a tunnel through their highways so that these animals can go underneath. Especially in the Albuquerque area, Sandia Mountains, we're not acknowledging them by, I guess, somehow we need to. Animal Rights Association, that's the other issue, safety. And then our own situation right now. There's a lot of forest. It's a forest area. It used to be a national forest. Mount Powell, there used to be a lookout tower way on top. So that was a national forest. Till some time ago, it was returned back to the nation. And for some reason, and we still don't know what happened to them. Every time I mention this, but what they did, they damaged the pineal pine. So almost every pine that's growing there have died. So it presents a problem for us. And one day when you were meeting somewhere, I mentioned that I wish NDOT would do a service road, like it has done through our community. Regardless whose land it is, there's got to be that service route for people to escape if anything should happen. Even NDOT's having a lot of problems doing the community roads. So that's one area that we would like to also address. Ishi Nigashbando Tin, how Nebohone Sandole. What and it's a darn neat right now because of those trees that died. Toshichi need on the I shoot out all this. I mean, it's a human thing that we need to be very cautious of. And then there's other needs that we need. You're talking about putting up a maintenance yard in our community. And I believe we have some discussion off record, but this week we want to meet to approve a site that you choose so that you can provide immediate services to not only our community, but the surrounding communities. And one thing that we don't have is any commercial or public, except for our public boarding school. We don't have any other developments. And we like to do that too. And right now, we were working on the highway from Mariano Lake to Crown Point. Date 4 or 5 miles that's ones that were made available was sufficient to do it all the way. We call it to the rim. That's our boundary. It's about 9 to 12 miles at the equa. Because we had to build a bridge that was necessary to finish the rest of the road. Finally, our biggest concern is the right-of-ways. We have to comply with 3 different compliance people. One is the McKinley County. They used to run a bus route throughout our community. At Ishibasa is right-of-way, no? Between the nation and McKinley County. Osa has and the right-of-ways were an issue, and the nation declared that it was their right, and McKinley County wanted it to be bipartisan, both government. But ene kare yato the was and that naso tinante so McKinley County doesn't run their buses anymore to some of the places in our area. So that's another issue that we would like to have resolved somehow between the nation and also McKinley County and BIA too, especially. They're still our oversight. They have a highway that they declare that's their oversight. During I-40 incidents, but because it's on the Hidelket Tunnel Divide, the land is constantly shifting. Well, not that now, but not initially, right there on that altitude, the summit. When that happens, they reroute their traffic through our community. These heavy trucks are constantly going through all the way through the night and day. There was no signage. And that's the other area that we wanted to ask for assistance. Okay. Ako shi, what is it all? I don't care how that's it. Baka chapter. Thank you for providing the facilities. And I should declare a holiday, huh?
Yes, let us go home. Okay. 8 minutes, I gotta talk fast. No stories. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Leandra James. I'm the CSC for Mariano Lake chapter. This is my AMS Lucinda. Of course, my chapter president, and I have my chapter secretary treasurer here, Mr. Henry P. Begay Jr. And then, of course, I have my team. So, I just want to wrap our needs assessment, what we've done so far, what we already have in order, and pertaining to our roads, okay? I have a presentation here. If you want to awkwardly turn around, and we'll all face this side. So, of course, we're talking about the oversight is Mariano Lake chapter in Mariano Lake, New Mexico. That is our ICIP plan, our infrastructure capital improvement plan. Our number one project is currently our multi-purpose building project. However, our second and third, it's our community roads. Those are the priorities. Number two is our Mariano Lake chapter Red Willow Road. It's Red Willow Road in the community, and that's the project we're working on. The third, just to make it, rather than outline each project per the project name, we got smart and we wrapped up all of our roads into the third one, the third category. So that's just attacking all of our roads. And then we have fourth and fifth. Next slide. So our community roads, all together, thankfully from INDOT, we got a map. And all together we have about 32 miles of road in the community. It basically averages approximately, to do the entire road, and mind you, this is 2 years ago's estimate, it's over 27 million if we were to improve the roads to pavement. Next slide. So our Red Willow Springs Road, which is our number two project, we currently have, we've completed majority of the roads planning and designing. So we've been working with Wilson and Company. My project manager is Don Jackson. And we've been working on this Red Willow Road. It consists of N7113, two N7113s, 4.5 miles, 3.52 miles, 1.86 miles, and 0.73 miles. So it was a lot for me to learn, because when we talk about state funding, any other funds, we're talking about the roads, the road numbers. But then when you refer to when the project actually began, this project has been in discussion since 1995. So it's actually, there's a little bit of history there. When I came across just basically the entire assessment of the community, I found out that it was actually my late grandma who was requesting for the road improvement. And she was pushing all of that to the current leaders at that time. Per resolutions and so on, they began archaeological clearance and biological clearance throughout the route. So through that, since there was some work that was already done, we were able to get some funding and begin all the clearances. So right now, we received $200,000 again, which is just going to basically tie in the remaining planning and designing, which is the bottom portion. So the whole improvement, or the plan, is to improve the entire route of this. So this being our first, I guess, road project. Next slide. And this is the road that actually Jay was talking about, the N11 Rocky Canyon Road. And we received $12 million for this road project. It's been improved, it's paved. A huge chunk of that money, almost half, went to reconstructing the bridge. We had to take down an old bridge and rebuild a whole new bridge. NECA completed this project just last year. So the remaining mileage out of the entire route, we still need 9.02 miles. Of course, we want that to include the culverts, the fence, the right-of-way fence, the cattle guards. So the road, the 12 million went into the bridge and basically 3.89 miles. I did have a video. Are you able to play that video? Just kind of takes you through the route really quick. And you'll see where the improvements are. It's not straight at all. It's very windy, uphill, downhill. There's the bridge. We're getting close to the end. We didn't drive this fast. We're very safe. And from here, it gets really bad. We have a lot of elders back there. We have ranchers. We have this route, actually, it's actually really famous. A lot of people commute from Gallup to Crown Point, and they take this route. So there's also like some commercial vehicles. A lot of our college students take this route. Nahodeshkij, you know, the community back there, Standing Rock, all of those individuals. So right now, this route would actually give you about, it takes off about 30 minutes if this whole road was improved all the way to Crown Point. But because you have to go all the way around, you have two options. If you come from Gallup and you're going to Crown Point, you either go around through, get, you know, in that traffic, and then you go on. Whoops. You can see it's pretty bad. My camera guy looks like he was flying around. So it gets pretty bad. I lost my train of thought. But anyhow, you'll have to go all the way around. The only time community members or residents or even the commercial drivers use this is, of course, when the weather is dry and sunny and it's fine. But honestly, if you take this route, you're really not going to cut off that much time because of that area. And it's from here, it's all washboard road. So it's pretty bad. As I stated, there's a lot of community residents, a lot of communities that this road goes through. Nahodeshkij, who are all the?
Most of the students that are attending NTU and medical.
Yeah. Right. There we go. So there's there's Crown Point. We have good brakes. We maintain our vehicles. Next slide. Uh-oh, let me just wrap this up. So just an overview, our prioritized roads. Of course, number one, the Red Willow Springs Road. We need about $11 million to do the entire improvement, which is, you know, all the way to pavement. And then we have Rocky Canyon Road. These two roads are construction ready. So if you just give us money with a contract, we'll be able to improve these roads. So 19 million for the Rocky Canyon Road. The Rocky Canyon Road includes, of course, the different land status. There's Navajo Nation, there's Indian allotment, and then there's BLM. So the number 3 is the Mariano Lake Loop Road. We want to begin that project. So I know we're asking for money, but We're just kind of hoping that you guys have all the money and you'll throw it at us. So Mariano Lake Loop Road, we have a lot of community members on that side who are very adamant about improving that road. And of course, to begin the improvement, we need to discuss the entire planning and designing, and at least 350 would get us going. And then we have the Wolf Canyon Road. Of course, that's about 100,000. That road was, what was remaining? We were, Anslem forgot to include us in that. I say that because Smith Lake's here. We share a road called Wolf Canyon Road with Smith Lake chapter. They did a good job improving majority of the road, but from where it goes into Mariano Lake, that's where they stopped. So the clients back there, there's still about approximately 4 miles. They are in a very treacherous area and they need assistance. It's Navajo Nation land. It would be really easy to just get back there and just fix it. So they're another area. And then number 5, our Gulf Mine Road. Next slide. And I believe this wraps it up. Yeah, so again, I'll just email this over to you. You'll have that, and however you can assist us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mariano Lake. And this will also tell the rest of the chapters that we are on a time schedule. Isha, please respect other time. For today, we went ahead and added additional minutes. If all the chapters were here, you would only be getting 8 minutes. So let's just go ahead and stay on time. And I appreciate your presentation, a lot of information, as that tells a whole lot of stories. So good job. So we'll, Mr. Joe,
We'll
or
go
who
on ahead
needs
and
to
we'll go on
do a
ahead
reply?
and give some time to safety and then to roads.
Yes.
Good morning. I'm Orlando Bowman, Highway Safety. As it relates to any data that's for crashes, accidents, we are trying to overhaul the aspect of that area. We're going to be working with the police department to get the crash data on a routine basis. And we're looking at the GIS analysts to put all this together. So if you're going to be needing any of that to help with the planning aspect, and I really think the chapter would be great with submitting a letter to support the requirements for data. Another thing that we're looking at is data elements, and what Mr. Patero talked earlier about a data center or records management retention program. So we are going to be looking at data on a more frequent basis. And I've only been with the highway safety a little over a month, so, but that's some of my, as the program manager, objectives to push this area and get more data that's going to be relevantly available, and also refine our website to where you see more crash data related information on the website. But we're going to get better at it and keep moving along, and support from the chapters for data will definitely help, because it's not just when an accident happens, the police officer or the agency goes out there and does what they need to do, and then they got to send that accident report to the state. And then the state does their analysis of all that GIS information. But we want to be able to pull that back with us so that we have it readily available, be a little bit faster, at least down the road. It's going to be hopefully we get the participation with the police department on a regular basis. So most of this side will be Crown Point Police District. So that's the vision down the road. So thank you.
You know, prices are different nowadays. Things have really gone out of the roof for construction materials. So you need to revise your estimate. You're looking at 15 miles, 7113. I know Red Willow Road. We working on Don Jackson is working with me. I know that road. You're looking at, nowadays you're looking at $3 to $3.5 million a mile to get a road all the way up to the pavement, all the way to the stripe. So you're 15 miles of Red Willow, you're looking $30-40 million. So, you know, it's a drastic need everywhere. It's quite a need everywhere throughout. We deal with 110 chapters, and everybody's looking to get their roads paved. But, you know, bottom line, it's all deals with funding, and with lack of funding, these things aren't going to happen. But just to let you know, your estimates are kind of low. Yeah, all right, thank you.
Okay, for the Tribal Transportation Improvement Program, this is a program where the chapters can apply every 5 years for improvement, meaning like bridges, roads. So with an update on N11, we found the project update. It's going to be 11.5 million. So the scope of work is going to start at the other end, the north end of N11, where it connects to N9. And before it gets up to the canyon there, 3.3 miles is where NDOT's going to start again. So that's going to take 11.5 million for 3 miles. So there's an update on that one. And just a little personal history. I grew up on that fast road, and I think we traveled that fast. Yeah. My family lived just before you get to the canyon going down. We live on the south side of the road all the way back there. The Snyders, related to the Snyders and the Casamaros. So I know that road, and I always think, I hope this road gets paved also. So we do understand your issues there, but the person you're going to be able to contact, his name is Daryl Bradley. He wasn't able to make it today because he's pushing for bridges with McKinley County. So we're trying to get as many bridges as we can for funding. We have a deadline to meet on that one too. So Daryl Bradley will be and then also planning. If you can't get a hold of Daryl, you can get a hold of planning, Leanne. Okay, thank you.
Let's go ahead and go to the next chapter. We'll do 30 minutes again. Thank you, everyone.